Awesome. Can you guys hear that on your end where it says the
Yep.
sleepy?
Yes.
Okay. That's weird.
And a little pop-up appeared.
Oh, funny. I guess they want to make sure everybody knows it's being recorded. So let's take 3 deep breaths and just kind of get ourselves into this area and mindset. Okay. So again, thank you guys so much for being on and for participating in our abundance group. I am so excited. So are you both reading the Create Abundant or Create Money book, or are you reading different books, or?
We're both reading Creating Money.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Got our own copies.
Awesome. What are you thinking of it so far, Brian?
I really liked it. I liked the fact that it not only gives you the end goal, but pretty much a step-by-step process to get there.
Right.
And the exercise at the end of the first section, I just read the first section. It's very close to what I've been doing for decades to relax, to go to sleep. So it was kind of second nature almost.
Awesome. Well, hopefully now, because you build on that. So now
Right.
the second section, you will build on that. So hopefully you can stay awake. You don't put yourself to sleep, by doing the relaxation techniques there. So what are your thoughts on it so far, Jean?
Well, I like it a lot. But there's right now I'm working on okay, now we have the vision, we have the big end goal. Now what are the feelings that are generated by that end goal? And now here's where I get stuck. What are some things you can do in the now that will generate those same feelings that will be generated by your end goal?
Right.
And so I'm trying to figure out what exactly that looks like. Mm-hmm.
I know so I've heard this concept a couple of years ago, even before, when I was really trying to get my car is when I first heard that. And so when I was driving my Lumina or my little Ford Focus, I would visualize it being the Nissan Pathfinder. And then I would be so grateful, just be so grateful that I had this beautiful new car, even though I was driving, 1998 Lumina or whatever, 2008 Focus. And it really helped. And just because I too, like, how do you get that feeling when, first of all, you don't really know what the feeling might be, and then second of all, you're not at all doing what you want. Like, obviously driving a car is kind of similar, but there's other times where it's not similar. So personally, I always go back to gratitude and just being grateful for whatever it is, for the tiniest little things.
It isn't so much trying to envision how I would feel once I meet that end goal. It was the whole talking about how one person took art classes that generated the same feeling, that opened up all of these artistic pathways, or one person took walks in their woods to give themselves that feeling of serenity that they wanted, that they thought they would get by earning this extra income. I can't figure, what I can't figure out is what is that unattached action that I can take that's going to generate the same feelings as retiring from daycare, buying a house on the lake, and doing LeBron shows full time.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What is that other thing that I could do to generate those same? Yeah. I mean, because I can put myself on our 4-season porch looking at that lake, doing follow-up calls, and how would that feel? I got that. It's just what what are some actual actions I can take that are separate and apart from LeBri that generate those same feelings, which is what section 2 is asking us to do. And I'm not sure what those things are.
So
Mhm.
can I give you a couple suggestions?
Absolutely.
So it would be maybe looking at real estate magazines, going on real estate websites, finding your dream house, even though you're not really able to just run out and buy it right this moment, making that dream board, going and sitting at a lake, an actual lake, even if it's Lake Wissota State Park and you're, on the public beach, but just sitting there and envisioning the house behind you, and like you're sitting on your beach, um, those types of things, walking, and then that feeling of when you're doing the calls, the customer care calls from your Four Season porch, get yourself there when you do customer care calls. Like, this is what I'm doing, and just envisioning that. So it doesn't have to be an art class or walking through the woods. It can be kind of your own thing, as long as those feelings are still coming to you and you are getting those feelings. That's really what it comes down to. And
Okay.
doing those things, is going to help you with your end goal. As you
Okay.
That's a good
So
idea.
I was being too literal.
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay. So I read that chapter and took it way too literal. Okay.
stop that.
Got it.
I know when
Thank you.
first heard
That helps.
You're welcome. I first heard the concept, I also was taking it very literally, but have learned to, like, no, it doesn't have to be literal. It's just energies.
Work more in the abstract.
Yes, exactly. Hi, Janelle. I don't know if you're still at the ball field, but hello.
Hello, we are actually on our way home from the ball field, so I'm just in the car. So that's why I don't have my camera on, because I figured you don't want to see the background moving.
Right. Well, thank you so much for joining us. Have you had a chance to pick a book yet?
My mom had, so I bought the one that you guys have, but I haven't started it. But I did start reading. My mom had the Train Your Brain.
Oh, yeah.
So I did start reading that.
Awesome. What do you think so far?
So far, it's good. I'm trying to think how far I am in it. Probably about 60 pages in or so.
Awesome. So you're getting a good feel for the visualization and tracking your negative thoughts and all of that.
Yep.
Awesome. Well, cool. I'm excited to hear how that goes. So I'm sure you were probably like, my kids are going to make noise any moment, so I'm going to mute. I know how that goes. So move on. Who has done the LeBri bingo? I've only got a few squares marked off. I got some in the works I'm working on, but I haven't been able to.
We haven't actually marked anything off, but we qualified. One of the squares is qualified by the 15th, I
Yeah.
believe, and we did qualify,
Yeah,
but I haven't marked it on the bingo thingy. And we did contact 20 customers today, and that's on there too.
yeah.
Mhm.
And we did set up the self-hosted show and invite, and that's on there too.
It's this Saturday.
So we haven't marked
Saturday.
anything off our bingo card. We're remiss in marking our bingo card. We have, however, been taking action.
Yay. Well, and mark it off and then send me a picture at the end of the month. So,
Okay.
awesome. And yeah, a lot of it is really, if you're working your business, you're doing it, which I like. I mean, some of it is a little bit of even if you're working your business, it might be a little bit of a stretch, but it's not so much that it's unattainable for anybody. I think everything on here is completely attainable for everybody that's working their business, 100%. And one of the things is you're going to have half of it for the action step anyway. So this week, and she took it a little bit further for you. So yay. So who has obviously Jean and Brian, you guys have your big dream figured out. I know I kind of shared my big dream last week or on the first when we met. Janelle, have you had a chance to think about, like, what's your big, hairy, scary dream?
Yeah, I guess especially after us going on vacation last week, it's probably similar to Jean's, it's having that house on the lake.
Awesome. I love it. I love it. So yeah, you can start visualizing, and Train Your Brain's going to go over some of that with you too. That house on the lake. Look at real estate, websites and things, even though you're not going to run right out and buy it today. Just have that mindset of this is happening and start looking at, oh yeah, I want a 4-season porch. Oh, I don't think I really like that loft area. I want, and put it on a dream board, put it on a phone. You can make dream boards on your phone, on your computer, old school, on a piece of tape board, however you want to do it, but have it there in front of you and visualize it. I know I have Disney on my phone right now, but I'm going to switch it to Capcana because we haven't gone to Disney, but everything is in place to go to Disney. So I feel like that goal is kind of done. And so now you have your big goal, this is what I want. And now the next step is to kind of think of and plan your first little goal to get there. So you think of your big goal as Mount Everest, and the top is your big goal. Well, you have your camping points, where you get to stop and camp. Base camps, thank you. And so where's your first base camp? I know Jean and I were in a thing where the base camp should be big and hairy and scary, but I feel like we should make our base camp kind of a plan. We should have a plan to get to base camp A or base camp 1 on it. And so think about that. What is, what's that first? And you break that down to smaller steps. So Jean and Brian, do you mind if I use you guys as an example?
Not at all.
Okay. So base camp 1, not saying that it's not written in stone, but might be executive managers or executive manager status. Okay. So that's base camp 1. Okay. Now we work backwards to how do we get there? Well, we get there by consistently holding shows. We get there by sponsoring. We get there by, so then you can kind of work backwards and what needs to be done and figure out that plan. Another base camp 1 could maybe be earning $5,000 a month or $10,000 a month or whatever. So you wouldn't have to have that executive manager title. It'd be a lot easier with it. Probably going to have it if you're making that much. But yeah, so you can just kind of think about where that is going to be. So for my big goal, it's big and scary. I want a house on the lake as well. But my big thing is, like I said, the nonprofit. And so how do I get there? How do I use LeBri to get me there? Well, first of all, consistently holding shows, meeting new people. So my goal is to meet 30 new people a month, connect with 30 new people a month. So then I break that down. Okay, well, if I'm going to connect with 30 new people a month, that's either 3 shows with 10 new people which can be kind of a stretch to have 10 brand new people at just 3 shows, or I could break it down into having 5 new people at 6 shows, which is, in my opinion and my beliefs, a little more easier. Doesn't mean that 3 shows with 10 new people isn't possible. It is. It's just, we're limited by our personal beliefs. So my belief is that I could do 6 shows with 5 new people to hit that 30 new people. And then also hitting the show me the money is going to help, because then I can save that money, that extra money that I make. And President Circle, because as we sponsor, we grow our business, our team grows, our income grows. Not that people are ever about the income and all of that. That's not why we do it, obviously, but it is a nice benefit for ourselves. And I know I can help other people by sharing this amazing opportunity. So that's kind of breaking down my goal in my first base camp of hitting that 30 new people a month and then becoming a senior exec and growing our team. Because like I said, on the first, who knows who I'll meet that will help me get this nonprofit going. And it's amazing the things that I've become aware of since that's been in my mindset and just the news. So it's, as you'll learn, Janelle, with Train Your Brain, it's really what you focus on is what you get. And yeah, so that's kind of mine. Does anybody want to share, Janelle or Gina Brian? Do you have like your base camp one plan figured out? Do you guys want to share it?
Well, I don't know if we have the plan figured out, but in my mind, you're pretty much right as far as becoming execs.
Yeah, I guess I had my sights on strong managers first. And then the next goal
Yeah,
is strong executive managers.
right.
Um,
Which is going to help you as well.
but yeah, it's the focus has been on, okay, getting shows on our calendar,
Right.
meeting new people, sampling, expanding, new growth. Yeah, that's where the
Building a team,
right.
especially building a team.
That, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, strong
But it
team.
sounds like all of us are going to be neighbors.
Yeah. We'll just
With our
have,
lake
like,
houses.
yeah, all our lake houses will be lined up. This is the LeBry Lake House area.
Right.
So yeah, exactly. I love that. And I love the strong team, Jean, because you're right. I've been in both places where you have a team that qualifies every once in a while, and then you have a team that qualifies regardless. And it's awesome when you have that team that is there and qualifying. And keep sponsoring is really the key to that, is keep sponsoring, keep bringing in new people, keep meeting new people, all of that. And I'm so thankful that vendor events are back up and running. I mean, there was online ones, but personally, I'm not that great on online ones, just saying. But yeah, so there's so many opportunities and so many things. Mike and I were just talking the other day about all these jobs that are available and how a large portion of workers left the workforce either by being ready to being of the age to retire, but didn't want to because they didn't know what they would do. Well, then coronavirus hit and they were kind of forced into retirement. Maybe they didn't actually retire, but they were left home without anything to do and they figured out things to do. So now they're like, oh, well, I can retire. So I know I have older friends and that was their biggest worry is like, what will I do when I retire? I have a job to keep me busy. I don't want to just sit home all the time. And then once they did retire, they're like, I'm more busy now than I was when I worked. And so there's that group of people, but then there's also the group of people that had maybe a 2-income family home. And then for whatever reason, one of the parents now didn't have a job during Corona and they weren't paying daycare and they realized, well, we can make this work on one income and I don't have to pay daycare and I get to spend time with my kids. But that doesn't mean that those people that are retired or those people that are now not in the workforce don't want a job or don't want something to think about other than their kids, or you know what I'm saying? So for me, I see it as an opportunity for all these new people that are looking for something to bring in some extra income, but not take up 40 hours a week, and to give them something like friendship and camaraderie and all these other great things that LeBry has to offer that isn't just the money. So open your awareness to that too, that we have this niche that we can help fill and help people, you know, to really fulfill maybe something that's missing in their lives. So I know personally it took 4 months, well, not even, like 3 months, and I was done. I was done being a stay-at-home mom. I was like, I love you guys, but come on. So yeah. Janelle, did you have your base camp one kind of plan figured out, or are you still working on it?
Just doing some shows. I don't have any shows. I think you guys all action.
I'm going to actually have you, when you get home, answer that question for me because you totally cut in and out there. And I realize that you're out on the road.
Well, now I can hear you better.
There.
Won't be home until like 8 o'clock because we're running one kid to a different ball field.
Oh,
But Base camp is going to be to get some shows set up.
Awesome. Super smart. Yes, absolutely. I love that for
Mhm.
school. Get those shows, get those new people. Absolutely. Perfect for school. Love it. And yeah, you're a busy lady running kids around from one ball field to the other. Wow. Okay. So this week, our action step is sampling. And how fun, how cool is that? That's going to help us meet new people. And there's a few different ways that we can do it. So do you guys want to throw out some ideas on who you can sample, or I've got some too I can share?
Well, something I've been doing is looking up people that I haven't talked to in forever on Facebook, striking up conversations, and then inevitably the question, so what have you been up to, comes up. And at that point, I bring up LeBri and ask them if they would enjoy trying a sample and giving me their honest feedback. So that's one way to
Right.
sample.
I love it. That's a great way to sample. And you're reconnecting with these people that you haven't connected with. And you're doing it in a genuine, heartfelt, not salesy, like, hey, Gail, how's it going way, but a very like, I want to know what's going on with your life. What's going on? We haven't talked in forever way.
Yeah.
So that's awesome. I love that. Another way is even friends that you're currently friends with on Facebook. You can, again, and that's actually one of the things on here is to reach out to friend and connect with 10 new Facebook friends in one day and say hello and start a conversation is one of the things. So you can kind of go through and make 10 new friends, or maybe people, I don't know about you guys, but I have people that are sending me friend requests all the time. If they're not creepy, well, like you don't know if they're creepy. I don't accept friend requests from random guys that I don't know. I block them. And even the women, I check and make sure that we have like mutual contacts. And so, but most of them don't reach out to me. I'll accept their friend requests, but they don't reach out to me. And so that's actually something that I'm going to be doing tomorrow, is going through and those people reaching out to them and connecting with them. And just, again, a genuine conversation, not necessarily, hey, you want to try a sample right away, but an actual like conversation. And like Jean said, inevitably it's going to come to, what do you do, or what's going on, or, you know, then you can, an opening to offer samples is going to come up if they're having an actual conversation with you. And if they're not, then just move on. Because there's those people too that will have one answer responses, and that's not really a conversation, or they won't respond at all. So, but I love that. Family and friends that haven't tried LeBri yet is another, you know, if you're newer or if you have those people that just haven't tried it yet, don't be afraid to reach out and ask them. Also asking as you're doing customer follow-up, customer care, ask for referrals. Just because they don't want to have a show doesn't mean that they don't know of a person, at least one person that would love to try samples, or that has eczema or has psoriasis or has, you know, acne or whatever. And they would love to be that person's like light at the end of the tunnel of relief, to help them get some relief, and you can help them do that. So, and then strangers in public. It's always
Yes.
for
Stalking people in health and beauty in the the aisle of all of your drugstores.
Mhm.
Mhm. Yeah. Or you don't even have to like stock them in health and beauty. You can go intentionally sampling at the mall, at Target, at Walmart, even if you wanted, and just be sample ready and be open and aware, have your mantra going and open and aware of those that want samples, and sample them. And I'm not saying you have to sample the whole 5-piece, you know, trio mask peel, or 7-piece. Even a mask or a peel is a sample, in my opinion. Like, you don't have to do the big set. You can if you want to, obviously, but you don't. That's not my, when I say sample, I'm not saying that, unless it comes up and that's what you want to do. But I am going to, what?
I sometimes forget that the awesome 2-part training that Linda does on sampling, where you just walk up to random people and I just love that. I just love the way they have your hair. It just it looks fantastic. I represent a skincare company from called Bri. Have you ever heard of it? I forget about that type of sampling
Mm-hmm.
because I'm so used to waiting for someone to pick up a product and we have to talk.
It's crap. Try this.
But yeah, I forget about that other more forward direct.
Extrovert way. But
Yes.
even if you're an
I'm more
introvert like
comfortable.
me, you can do it. Huh?
I'm more comfortable with going to the store, the gas station, whatever that I usually go to. And I invariably end up striking up conversations with the people behind the counter. And after you've done that for a while and you know each other, then, hey, you want to try this type of thing?
And that's a good way to do it too. Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
That's how I'm more comfortable because I know these people, they know me, and it's just kind of a general progression. I can't talk.
Right. I know how that goes. Yeah. But if you're an introvert like me, I have done intentional sampling and it has paid off. So that's the next action step actually. So there's 2 action steps this week. The first one is to listen to Linda's training because Linda has the perfect verbiage and she just speaks so eloquently and she is an introvert as well. As amazing as that might be, she really is. And once you actually see her at events, you can tell. But well, I'm an introvert, so I can tell. And I think most people can tell. She's very outgoing and friendly, but she doesn't want to be the center of attention by any means. She is an introvert. She wants to just kind of sit back and watch everything. But yeah, so listen to her training. I know there's the 2-part on there. So I highly recommend that. I was actually going to share my screen and we were going to, because I know there's multiple different trainings in there. And I'm going to let you guys decide what you want to do. I'm not going to tell you have to listen to a specific one. I think you're all grown-ups and know what's going to work for you. But at the same time, I listen to at least one. That is the action step because it is so, so amazing. And she just does such a great job. Like I've listened to them and I'm excited to listen to them again because she does such an amazing job.
Well, one of the 5-piece set was phenomenal for our sales.
Mm-hmm.
She does a beautiful job of incorporating everything into one group. So you're not looking at it as 5 separate products. You're looking at it as a group for total redo of your skin.
Mm-hmm. So she has, and I do recommend you look at this PDF for creating your 30-second commercial. This is going to help you throughout your whole business. If you haven't created a 30-second commercial, you need to do that. And then the 7 key tips on how to sample your way to success. And then this is the one that Jean was talking about, working with samples, part 1 and part 2. Explode your customer and sponsoring base through sampling. There's all of this, and these are all audios. So driving to work or doing dishes or folding laundry, all the tedious things that we do, you could be listening to this Sampling Made Easy, and you can access it, or Sampling Made, oh my gosh. You could be listening to these sampling trainings, and we have access to it through our phone as well. And then there are some videos down here that there's this video, the free skincare sample set. This is great to send to people on Facebook that say they want a sample. And you can say, okay, great, this is what you get, type of thing. So yeah, I highly recommend picking at least one or more of these trainings. Extra bonus points if you do more or you listen to them all the time. If you want to grow your business like me and meet new people, like I will be studying these this is what I will be doing even after this week, because that is the way we meet new people. I don't know if you guys, I know Jean and Brian, you guys do, but Linda grew. I'm just going to share a quick story because I don't know if it gets talked about enough if you aren't at convention or at leadership. Linda grew LeBri through samples. When it started, hi Janelle, I'm glad we can see you. When it started, that's all they had. I mean, they had full-size stuff, but that's how she did it, is she would actually sit outside Walmart and sit outside department stores and ask people if they would like samples, or go to the mall and walk around and give samples. She would go to the food court at lunchtime. She would have 25 samples in her bag, and she would not let herself go home until she gave out 25 samples, because she knew she had to make this work. She had to make this business work, or they were literally SOL. So that's what she did. She would put samples in her bag. She would go to the food court at lunch. She would go out from, whatever time frame she chose at whatever time, and not come home until those samples were given away. And go up to ladies. This was back in the early 90s when office ladies would go out to lunch at the food court at the mall. I don't think very many of them do that now. But, just to give you an idea of what she would do, or mid 90s, I guess, 98, 99, and the dedication. And that's how she did it, was through sampling. Then she would get always get their contact info. If they did not give her contact info, she would say, I'm sorry, I cannot give you a sample. This costs me money, but I will give you a pamphlet. If you change your mind, please contact me. And then she would follow up with them. The amazing, awesome, fabulous Gina Legablo was introduced to LeBri through a sample she went to their rummage sale, as she calls it. And she was interested in a table, I think they had, or something. And she was talking to Brian, and then here comes Linda running down the hill with a sample. I gotta give you this. I gotta give you this. And she gave her a sample, and Gina put it in her drawer for like 3 weeks. But Linda would call every week and make conversation, and became friends with Gina. It wasn't just a sales, oh, have you tried it? No, you haven't tried it. Okay, I'll call back later. It was what are you up to? How's this? She kind of got to know her when they first met. Found out she was a sales lady for Brent Douglas, or a blind company is what, I don't know exactly what company, but it was a blinds company is what Gina would travel and sell blinds. But anyways, got to know her, talked to her about that stuff. Then that turned into, have you tried the samples? It got to the point where Gina was like, I am being so rude for not trying these samples. I need to just try them. And when she tried them, she loved them and joined, didn't do anything for 9 months. And now look at her. Like, she's amazing. And she grew her business. All the hostess rewards is if you had 2 people at your party, you got a facial mask. That was the host rewards. And the requirement was 2 people at a party. Can you imagine how slow that would be? To meet 30 new people in a month, you'd have to do 15 parties. Mm-hmm. Like, wow, that's crazy. So, and Gina took all of the knowledge that Linda gave and studied it and did it. And once she decided she wanted this, and this was going to replace her income, and she did it. And the money that she made helped her and her husband have in vitro fertilization to have their beautiful Sylvia. How amazing is that? So many amazing, inspiring stories out there. But I love Gina's because she didn't have, I don't even know if she had email. She had fax and she had phone call. So no Facebook, no Instagram, no text messaging, no cell phones, like mind blowing. So anyway, she can do it, we can do it, and it isn't going to take us 20 years. That's for sure. So yeah, I'm going to get off that soapbox, but definitely take the knowledge that's given to us and study it. If you want this, you can totally do it. The best students become the leaders, I'm telling you. And when you work on yourself and your personal growth, it's amazing how your business grows. And, you know, you still have to obviously take those steps, but it's like the steps that you take, the results from those are tenfold, instead of when you're just focusing on all those steps and you got to do those steps and you feel like the results are onefold. And you're like, oh, this is taking forever. But then when you start expanding your mind and working on yourself and growing your knowledge, it's like it just all explodes and comes to fruition. So, yeah.
Now, for that matter, Tara, have you heard the Quiznos story?
I worked at Quiznos, but what's the Quiznos story?
Oh, okay. At Leadership, not last year, but the year before, Linda was out in the hallway and she was kind of just sitting at a table in the hallway there. And I happened to stop by and just kind of overhear the conversation. And she was talking about how she had started the Liberai and she was maybe a year or two into it, and it just wasn't doing what she was hoping it would do. And she was this close to moving to Arizona and getting a Quiznos franchise.
Yeah.
But then Brian talked to her about it, and okay, tell you what, let's give it, I forget what time frame, but it was another year or two or a couple of years or something along those lines. Let's just see what this does. And here we are today.
Yeah, let's give this one more year.
Yeah.
We've invested so much time and effort. Let's just give it one more year.
And if she wouldn't have listened to that, if they wouldn't have continued trying, they'd be in Arizona with Quiznos.
Which
So,
I'll tell you is not a good
until you get to that point, don't give up.
Exactly. Exactly. And sometimes when you're ready to give up, that's where your like breaking point is coming through, where it's right there. You just got to stick with it just a little bit longer and it's coming. I know there was lots of times when I was going for my car, when I was like, oh, this isn't working. And then I would be like, okay, I'm going to study, I'm going to work it, I'm going to do it. And then, yeah, exactly. But it's funny that it was Quiznos. So I used to manage a Quiznos in Eau Claire.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm glad that she did.
And yes, I am too. And, getting back to Gina, she talks about how when she read Sharing is Caring. And that's what clicked. I'm not bothering people if I offer them a sample. These are amazing products. I'm actually doing them a favor by offering, these samples. This is something people actually want. And once that clicked, then she started offering it to everybody. And that's when things started to happen.
And when they say everybody, they literally mean everybody. It's not like this person or that person, or I know she uses this other stuff, so she's not going to be interested. No, it's everybody. Or she intimidates me, so I'm not going to offer it to her. No, it's everybody. You guys, I don't know if you guys have, but to listen to Gina's sample is amazing. She just does it so genuinely. I've been at restaurants with her and she samples the waitress and it's just genuine from her heart. So sweet. So just like, this is the wait. Like if you are watching from the outside, it's like the waitress is almost, you think is expecting it. Like this is the transaction that happens at a restaurant, although it never happens. And it's not something that is always, but that's just how Gina makes it feel. That's just how Gina does it. And she just does it so just from her heart and genuine. So when we can get to that point, yeah. And I don't know about you guys, but that's what I do. I want to be from my heart, genuine, truly caring. I don't want this to come off as you're helping me by buying my stuff. No, I'm helping you because this stuff is amazing and you're going to love it. And yeah, and this income opportunity could change your life if you want it to. So, and having that mindset going forward is really awesome. So listen to the training, Sharing is Caring by Eileen Meckley. I've read it. It's actually really, really awesome. And I know Gina worked with her as a mentor, like as a coach as well. So, which is really cool. Yeah. And the Saturday morning calls are amazing as well. I haven't been on the last few times, but yeah.
So did you listen to the replay of yesterday's?
I have not. I was going to this afternoon and then I got busy, but I am going to tomorrow.
Because well, I was having problems with the internet connection, kind of like we were at the Zoom, and I could not get on. And so I listened to it this morning on the replay. Very good call. Yeah, it was awesome. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Cool.
So now I get to figure out when I'm going to go live twice a week, because they were explaining why that's so important,
Mm.
Mhm.
and it makes total sense, and I've known it, I just haven't done it.
Right.
So
I know I was looking at I was trying to find, we went to a new place for fireworks last year and I was trying to remember where it was. It was just this little tiny town. So I was like scrolling through my Facebook because I knew I had posted it last 4th of July and it was like July 3rd or something. And I wanted to know. But anyways, and I was noticing that I had been going live very consistently, like in January and last fall and then into January, and then I don't know what happened. I just kind of stopped, and I'm like, I get to start doing that again. I get to start being consistent and going live and just having fun with it. And again, coming from your heart, being genuine, loving what you do, doing what you love. So any questions, comments, anything you guys want to add?
I think I'm done.
I think I'm done too.
Okay, we're done.
So again,
Janelle, it's all up to you.
Again, the action steps are to listen to at least one sampling training in the Learning Center. So it's in the Learning Center under Sample with Sizzle or Sizzle, something like that. You'll see it. There's pictures of samples. And then click on that. There's all sorts of training in there. At least one. Shoot me a message or post in the group which one you listened to and your biggest takeaway. Let's do that because that's going to be awesome and that's going to build, fun in the group. I apologize. I really haven't been posting in the group and I haven't been on Facebook. So that's the deal, is like when you're trying to not be on social media and be more present than the things you're trying to do on social media. For me, I'm still finding that balance of, anyway. Action step number 2 is to sample at least 5 people in the next week. So by Sunday, the 18th, you have sent out 5 samples. And whether that's the full 7-piece set or a 5-piece set or one sample, I don't care. It's sampling, giving at least one sample to 5 people and asking them to try it and seeing what they think of it. Obviously, you might not have that part, the asking and seeing what they think part done by the 18th. But having the samples sent out by the 18th. So awesome. Well, thank you guys.
Well, and something that Gina's been really, really pushing and Gather and Grow is make the appointment. So when you send out those samples, set up the appointment as, okay, so you're gonna alert me and then we're gonna get on Zoom or or if they're local, you're going to be in my living room or I'm going to be in your living room, or we're going to connect somehow and walk through that sample set together.
Mm-hmm.
And get the appointment.
Yes. And even if you
so
just.
They don't sit in the drawer. What's that?
What is it?
So they don't sit in the drawer for 3 weeks.
Exactly.
Like with Gina.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And even if it's just a facial mask or a peel, still set that appointment and show them how to do it, especially the peel. I'm telling you, if you give out that peel, you definitely want, and even the facial mask, because if they put it on like this, they're not going to see results that they want to see. Yeah, exactly. So even if you just send out one sample, and I would say if you're only going to send out one sample, either the mask or the peel. If they seem really interested in the eye gel, great, send them an eye gel, but also send either the trio or the mask or the peel, send something else they're going to see more dramatic instant results with and gives you a reason to set that appointment. iGel, everybody kind of knows, or you can easily explain iGel. You know, use your finger, dab it on. But the peel, the mask, or the trio definitely gives you a reason to set that appointment, and then you can explain it to them. And I don't think I emphasized enough, but ask your customers for referrals. People may not want to have shows right now, but they will still give you referrals. So do that. Okay. Well, thank you guys again so much for being on. I'm so appreciative of you all being on, and anybody that watches the replay, thank you. When you watch the replay, be sure to comment your biggest takeaways. And then, like I said, action steps, listen to Linda's training, at least one about sampling, and then sample 5 people. Once you sample 5 people, celebrate with us in the group. Make a post with an awesome, like, fun celebration gift so we can help you celebrate as well. So, okay. Well, you guys have an amazing rest of your night. Hopefully you get to go home soon, Janelle, and relax. Yeah. And yeah, we will see you next Sunday, 7 p.m. on Zoom. Or actually, I think we're going to do a Facebook chat room. That might be easier for it to just be more instant and not have to take so long for me to get the replay up. So, awesome. You guys have a great night, and I will talk to you later. Jean and Brian, I'm going to shoot you a text, Jean, about that vendor event so we can set up.
Oh, yes, please. Mhm.
Yeah. So I'll shoot you a text and we'll set up a time when we can chat this week about that.
Sounds good.
Wonderful. Fantastic. Yes.
Okay. Bye.
Alrighty.
Bye.
Bye.